Yo, what is up, buds? I'm going to switch back to my other view just for everybody so everybody knows if you're watching on the show. This is Big Tom Bud's Fantasy Football Show today. Switching over. I can't look at my face that close anymore. I have to fix that screen even bigger. Yeah, we're getting that out of there right away. We'll go back to this screen for the show. But what is up, everybody? Sorry for not coming on last week. I felt, just like the Bears, I just didn't show up last week. So had to take a little bit of a break. Had some other stuff that was going on. I've been working on my other podcast that I do, the Big Times Budcast, mental health podcast that I do. So this week I did it on depression, on what everything that goes into depression, and it took a lot of work for me to do, whether because it was studying and all that stuff I had to do. It took up a lot of my time, and I wasn't able to get around to doing the football show last week because of that. So here we are today. That show is now available on Spotify, Amazon, Google, Pandora, and it is called "What Is Depression" on that show. So go check that out if you guys listen to podcasts on the side. But today we got a show for you guys. We are going to be going back to obviously the top 10 ranks of going into the week of what I feel like would be the top 10 players for the week in each category: quarterback, running back, receiver, like usual. And then we are going to do who I love outside of the top 10. And then we're going to do the Get 'em Outta Here's.
Get him out. Ready? Are you ready? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get the hell out of here.
So, yeah, it's going to be another filled show today. This week on bye. We only have 2 teams after last week was such a tough week for a lot of people. 6 teams were on bye. I think one of my leagues, I literally had everybody except for 2 positions that I had to fill because everybody was on a bye. So great draft in there, by the way, Big Tom, idiot. But yeah, this week only Baltimore Ravens and the Raiders are on bye this week. So we do have a surprise at quarterback today. A king has been knocked off his podium. I've had enough of it trying to give it to him. You know what? I'm talking about Mahomes here. So Mahomes isn't at number 1 today, and we'll see going forward. Hopefully he plays. Hopefully he's not injured or anything like that. I'm a huge fan of Mahomes, but man, what is going on with the Chiefs? There is like a lot of things that are happening this year that I was not seeing coming. The Chiefs, the Titans. There's like a whole lot. The Bengals look like they're real. That is a fun team to watch right now with Jamar Chase, Joe Burr, and Joe Mixon's finally doing his thing. That team is like I feel like they have one of the worst offensive lines in the league, but they're still working it. Joe Burrow is slinging it out there. But at number 1 today, I'm gonna have some people shocked on this one. Maybe not shocked. And I looked at the professionals ranks and seen what they had him at this point, and they had him at like 7 on their ranks. That was like the average. And so today at number 1, I actually have the GOAT, Tom Brady. He's sitting up there, guys. He plays New Orleans this week. But, dude, Tom Brady, there's not a quarterback out there that is like within a couple hundred yards of passing of Tom Brady. Tom Brady is running away with it right now, and he's just the weapons. He's got an insane amount. He's got an I'm shocked by the other things. He's got an insane amount of weapons over there, and is just lethal. Probably playing the best football he's played in, can we say, a decade? Surprisingly, this guy is going to play until 2042. He's going to be like 80 years old, finally giving it up. So Tom Brady at number 1. At number 2, we got Josh Allen working his way back up the ranks. He's playing Miami this week. Josh Allen is starting to really sling it out there. He's got 3 or 4 games over 300 yards passing, but like the team was like a slow start to the season. I feel like they weren't really cooking it, and just recently now he's really starting to get that ball moving out there, and they're really starting to pull together. and be the Bills that everybody kind of thought they were. They had a weird start to the season, but they're back, and they're not going to stop against Miami. No chance. At number 3, Kyler Murray on his continuous MVP season, playing the Green Bay Packers. I want him to absolutely light them up and destroy them. It'd be fun to watch that happen, and watch Aaron Rodgers not have any weapons this week to throw to. At number 4, guys, if you're listening, there's going to be a lot of people on here that want me to say a certain person, but not yet. It is Stafford at number 4. Oh, my Cowboy fans. Oh, man, every week they get lit up by this. I get messages. Tough guy and the animal. They don't like it. But Matthew Stafford this week against Houston, that is mainly why, is just because of the team that Matthew Stafford's playing. Also, Matthew Stafford is playing top 3 quarterback right now in the league. He's just lighting it up. Again, all these guys, I mean, I got to stop saying that all these guys have insane weapons, because like the top 5 quarterbacks every single week have an abundance of weapons. So I got to stop. I got to start throwing that out and stop saying that. But yeah, Matt Stafford at number 5. Here you go. Dak Prescott against Minnesota. At Minnesota this week. I'm actually not sure on if I haven't looked into to see if Amari Cooper was ready to go yet. It doesn't matter though. CeeDee Lamb, we're gonna go into him a little bit later on in the show. But Dak Prescott at number 5. I feel like Dak Prescott, honestly, in my opinion, is top 5 quarterback in the league right now. Outside of like fantasy, if I was putting a team together, Dak Prescott is easily in my top 5. But yeah, so he's at 5 right now, at least for this week in fantasy. At 6, I decided to go with Paddy Mahomes here at 6. Against the Giants, versus the Giants. Well, we'll see what's going on, man. This team is a wild one to watch right now. I don't know what's going on. It's pretty crazy. Last week they only put up 3 freaking points. It was turning into one of those games that it was like a Chiefs thing to do, to be losing by like 20 plus points going into halftime, and then Mahomes to come in and just take the game away, and it just shut them out at the second half, and it never happened. 3 points for the Chiefs. That is wild. But he took a huge hit, a weird hit. He was going down. Took a shot to the head, and his neck kind of looked like it went back a little bit, and he was really slow to get up. He had teammates help him off the field, and they said, like, literally not even hours after the game that he was clear to. The one thing that is actually starting to drive me nuts, and I think I talked about it last week on the show, the clearing the quarterbacks of concussion within like 2 hours after the game is over with. Because dude, don't tell me that a couple weeks ago Burrow didn't have a concussion. The dude was crushed. Who was it that was Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones. Don't tell me he did not have a concussion. The guy was drooling. He was literally stumbling immediately when he stood up. He couldn't even walk. He couldn't even stand. So, like, for all these doctors to clear him of concussion protocol within 2 hours of the game is wild to me. I think that Paddy Mahomes to clear him within hours after, like, these are vicious hits that these guys are taking. It's not like they're taking serious hits, and you can obviously see on the field that there's something wrong with them, that they're not right. But I mean, hey, that's the NFL. They're made of money. I mean, look at me now sitting here doing a football show on it. So gonna keep it going. But Mahomes, hopefully he's okay and is healthy. At 7, I'm at Jalen Hurts against they're at Detroit this week. He should do his thing. I think he's got like 2 rushing touchdowns in the last 2 weeks each game. He's throwing 300 plus yards a game. I was really low on him all season long going into it, but I feel I don't know who he's got over there that he's really lighting it up with exactly, but he's doing it. He's doing his thing. So 7 for him. At 8, this is a man that hurts me to drop him this low on the list. But it's happening. But Justin Herbert at 8 against New England. J Herb, come on, boy. Let's get back up in that top 5. At number 9, turning into one of my favorites in the league, Joe Burr against the Jets at the Jets. Man, like all these quarterbacks that I'm saying, they have very, very easy matchups. I feel like there's going to be huge numbers from quarterbacks this week. I mean, we're talking about Jets, Giants, Houston, Miami, Detroit. These are teams that just get lit up, and it should happen. Here comes the train. And then at number 10, which like it was very weird to kind of put him at 10. Aaron Rodgers, a tonight against the Cardinals. That's the game that starts us off this week. Thursday night, Cardinals versus Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers doesn't really have any. I think almost all of his receivers, all of his main receivers are down with COVID or some type of injuries. I know I've seen COVID on the list for at least 2 of them. But I don't think any of them got cleared. I'm not sure on that. Unless it got cleared today, I didn't see anybody get cleared on the list. So Aaron Rodgers, he's gonna have to work with some randoms. It looks like. And then outside of top 10, I am loving for this week Matt Ryan versus Carolina. He needs to keep Pitts going. This Kyle Pitts is starting to get exciting. This is kind of what I had a lot of hope for Kyle Pitts. I was going into the season saying this guy was going to be Rona. Yeah, Rona's doing its job right now, especially in the league. But Kyle Pitts, man, I was going into the season with this guy saying that he's going to be top 5 for sure, 4 possibly, and slow start. But the Falcons are also another team that are starting to like turn up a little bit, start getting the ball moving out there. Matt Ryan's been doing decent all year, actually, to be honest. He's had 300-yard games, and he's doing all right. But, again, he needs to get Kyle Pitts going. This guy is a beast. He's catching absolutely everything. And Kelvin Ridley hasn't even gotten going yet. That run game is so freaking poor over there. I mean, Cordell Patterson. They need to keep Cordell Patterson doing his thing and not Mike Davis. Mike Davis is, that's crazy. That's why that guy was a number 3 back in the league for years. And for them to like try to start the season with Mike Davis, I feel like that might have hurt the passing game. But I'm loving Matt Ryan this week. And then here we go. Ryan Tannehill and Kirk Cousins. You can get it. Oh, you claim the max amount available to you. The restock for your next stream. What the hell? I got shut down. I can't even do it. Yeah, Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, get him out of here. I was about to do the little sound alert, but I must have a cooldown on it. Get him out of here. I don't want to see Ryan Tannehill or Kirk Cousins this week. I think Kirk Cousins has been on my get him out of here list every single week. That's where he belongs. I don't want to see it. I want to see Goff over freaking Kirk Cousins. I'm just kidding. That's rough. But yeah, still. He is so cheesy. There's like they're starting to mic him up a lot and putting videos out there of Kirk Cousins, and this dude is like, he's the epitome of a dad joke, I swear. Blue-eyed human, hello, how are you doing? Welcome in. I'm just doing right now. I'm doing a fantasy football show, so good to see you. At running back this week, at number 1, King Henry. This is the only guy that has been on my number 1 all year and has continued to be my number 1 all year long. King Henry against at Indy this week. Looking at another, man, how many 100-yard games did he have in a row? 5. I think he goes back to it this week. Everybody's like, oh man, he had an off week this week, 80 freaking yards. Come on, that's a good week for a lot of these guys right now. So at number 2, doing Dalvin Cook versus Dallas. There's something that like it irks me putting Dalvin Cook up so high, and it's not like it's because of his injury. It's because of all of his injuries. He's so injury prone. It's like I'm always scared to put him up there because you just never know. But I mean, he came back last week and had a great game. So Number 3, Austin Eckler versus New England. Every week, I do say kind of the same thing about these guys every single week, so I don't want to go into too much until like things start changing. But again, Austin Eckler catching and rushing, you could expect all that out of him, and I feel like he's going to have. He'll definitely be top 3 at the end of the year, as long as he stays healthy. I'm doing good, Blue-Eyed Human. Thank you. Busy. All these podcasts I've been doing lately. And then at number 4, another one, just because, and it's not even based on this guy. It's based on the team. Alvin Kamara at number 4 versus Tampa Bay. Alvin Kamara, actually, he did this last year, and it's why I have Alvin Kamara higher up on the list than I was thinking. Was last year around this time is when Alvin Kamara started cooking it out there. He started really mixing it up and getting into the actual game. And like I've said, I think New Orleans needs to really put Alvin Kamara as the focus on that team. He doesn't have a running back behind him that should be taking his goal lines or anything like that. So I think that they need to start focusing him more and getting him going. And they're going to. They did it last year. He had a slow start last year too. So at number 4 for him. At number 5, I'm going with the crop top crusader, Ezekiel Elliott. That's not my line, crop top crusader. I heard a guy on TikTok say that this week, and I was dying laughing. But yeah, Zeke, he is at number 5 at Minnesota. The professionals had him ranked like underneath top 10. I think they had him at like 12, 13 averaged for this week in football. That's wild. The guy's having a great season. At number 6, Najee Harris. At Cleveland, Najee Harris, again, another guy that needs to be the focus of that team. Get the ball out of Roethlisberger's hands. The guy is trash, and give it to Najee Harris and let him do his thing. He's doing good. He's doing good for a rookie. I want to see more out of him, though, honestly. Like I said, I want him to be controlling. He's going to be the future of that team for a long time. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I there's a certain person I want to see go over to the Steelers next year. When Roethlisberger's done this year, weirdly, I want to see Trubisky go over there and quarterback for the Steelers. I want to see it happen. I'm really starting to think. I mean, Trubisky isn't. He's not. Even in skill wise, I still don't even think he's top 15 in the league. Possibly not even top 20. Who knows? But I would like to see Trubisky get another chance at a starting position, and I think the Steelers would be really nice for him with the weapons over there, and under a different coach, not Nagy. Oh my God, could you imagine the Bears getting rid of Nagy and then Nagy going over to the Steelers and Trubisky going there? Oh man, I hope not. At number 7, Jonathan Taylor. Dude's a beast. One of the best offensive lines in the league. He's really starting to come out too and tear it up. So at number 8 for tonight, Aaron Jones, and he could have possibly went up a little bit higher on the list, but I think that he's really good at 8. I feel like he's going to have a lot of touches tonight, especially with all of the receivers down for Green Bay this week. They don't have anybody out there playing. I think Randall Cobb might be their number 1, if I'm mistaken, for Green Bay. So Aaron Jones is going to have to get focused a little bit tonight. At number 9, Joe Mixon. I'm going to give it to the guy. I kind of crapped on him all year long. I said that this is a guy that's going to lose you fantasy football week in and week out. And the Bengals is proving me wrong. Bengals are definitely proving me wrong. They're really doing good as a team. And at the Jets, I'm liking Joe Mixon here. I feel like Joe Mixon is going to have 125 plus, 1 touchdown. That's what I'm calling it. 125 and a touchdown. And then at number 10, against the struggling Seattle defense, James Robinson, shock of the year. I'm going to keep saying it, shock of the year for running back, just because of how they treated him to start the season. He's doing almost exactly what he did last year, proving himself to be a top running back in the league. So, and then also I'm loving outside of the top 10, Darryl Henderson against Houston, and then Cordero Patterson, which is funny. I found out from my buddy Tony. Shout out T-Bone. who just turned me down on a trade, guys. Just turned me down. You son of a bitch. He told me this week that, at least in our league on CBS, you could actually plug in Cordero Patterson at either receiver or running back. They give you the option. I did not know that was a thing. I mean, I don't have Cordero Patterson at all, so I wouldn't know that. But I'm surprised they don't have him locked in at a certain position. One son of a biscuit. He is. Son of a biscuit. And then DeAndre Swift and Leonard Fournette. Get them out of here. I don't want to see any part of them this week. They're actually been doing. DeAndre Swift has actually been doing pretty good. These are some hot takes right here, guys. DeAndre Swift is doing okay, not rushing, but DeAndre Swift hasn't been doing shit rushing, but receiving he's doing something, and he's getting the touchdowns there too. And then also Leonard Fournette, he's starting to come out a little bit better. He's playing his best football he's played with the Bucs, I feel, right now. So some hot takes, but I want him out of here this week. I don't want any part of it. Unfortunately, I have to have Leonard Fournette playing in one of my leagues. Freaking Saquon Barkley is taking a dump on me out there. At wide receiver this week, at number 1, we got a new guy, a top number 1, Cooper Kupp at Houston. Probably another surprise of the year with Cooper Kupp. This guy, man, holy cow. This dude is doing some work out there. And I thought it was going to be like, I didn't know this was going to be like a Mike Evans thing where it was going to be like week in, 1 week here. He disappears for 2 weeks. And Robert Woods gets some touches and starts spreading the ball to all these different guys. And no, they're focusing Cooper Kupp. He's having a great season, definitely his best season yet. So he's going to sit at number 1 this week for me. At number 2, another one that might surprise a lot of people, and I'm only saying that because the professionals don't have him up there even close. But at number 2, I'm putting Jamar Chase because he's playing the Jets this week. I think I put a lot of Bengals. This is the first time I have Bengals both on quarterback, running back, and receiver this week, I think. But Jamar Chase is sitting at 2. He's going to be the recipient. And I say that because I watch all these videos, like all the stuff outside of what they do on the field. And Burrow and Jamar Chase just have such a great relationship. These guys have known each other before the NFL. They played with each other before in college. And, man, it's showing on the field. These guys are just – they're a freaking unit right now. And they're going to be one of the – I think they're going to be one of the best duos for the next 10 years, Burrow and Jamar Chase. That is going to be a nasty duo. And I don't see them splitting either. At number 3, Justin Jefferson. The receivers are kind of like – we went into the season this year, and I was trying to tell everybody, like, hey, man, you probably shouldn't focus receivers a whole lot. I would go running backs immediately just because you felt like there was such a low class of running backs to go into the season. And receivers, there was so many. There was, honestly, I think if I remember right, there was like 35 receivers that were on the list when I was going into draft that I was possibly okay with them going on my lineup. And some of these top receivers are not performing to what they probably should or what people were hoping for. Drafting them in the top 2, top 3 rounds, they're not performing, and it's kind of scary. But I mean, they're still having a game here and there, so they're still put on the list. Justin Jefferson's not doing bad. I kind of want just a tad bit more out of Justin Jefferson, which is crazy because I think he's getting like 10 touches average a game, but he's not getting anywhere as far as like yards or anything like that. And it'll come around. I think Justin Jefferson's easily top 3 receiver in the league right now, skill-wise. So, at number 4, another guy, same thing, Stefan Diggs. I don't know what's going on with him, but versus Miami, he had finally his best game last week. I think it was like 87 yards and a touchdown. And I feel like he for sure needs to continue that this week. He needs to hit over that 100 and a touchdown because it's Stefan Diggs, man. That's another person that a lot of people put easily top second round picks on. Stefan Diggs, second round, possibly third round. He's not been producing at all what people were thought he was going to do. And like Josh Allen is really starting to throw some games together, and Stefan Diggs just hasn't really been he hasn't been the main part of it, not yet at least. Another guy, and this, like, at number 5, he's really starting, and I don't have him on any of my leagues, but when I'm watching the play, it is annoying to watch because this guy is dropping so much. He's going to really slip on my list and might even get the hell out of here pretty soon. And Tyreek Hill. If this guy, I don't know, Mahomes is actually leading the league right now in interceptions, which is crazy and surprising, but they really need to take the stat away of tipped passes from receivers. Like, and Tyreek Hill is becoming a huge problem for that right now. He has got some of the biggest butterfingers going, easy passes right in his hands, and he's just tipping them to he's volleyballing it to the defense. I think they need to take that stat away. That needs to go on a receiver when it's a tipped pass for an interception, because Tyreek Hill will be leading the league in that. At number 6, probably should have went over it. He probably should have went at 5. You know, he should have went at 5. It's CeeDee Lamb. He's having a good season again. Yeah, we're putting him at 5. Get Tyreek out of here. He's going to 6. CeeDee Lamb's at 5. There you go, Cowboys fans. At quarterback, running back, and receiver, you got your guys at 5. I think each one of them hit top 5 or hit number 5 on my list. So yeah, we're gonna go with CeeDee Lamb at that. At number 7, Deebo Samuel against my Chicago Bears. I really didn't think Deebo Samuel was going to have like as good of a season as he's having right now. Man, could you imagine what season he would be having if he had a healthy quarterback or a quarterback for that matter? Like, man, he's having a good season too. At number 8, falling off a little bit here from what he was doing because he was having such an outstanding season. Mike Williams versus New England. See if Mike Williams can get back in the mix. The Chargers have had like 2 weeks that were just a little slow here. Let's see if Mike Williams gets back in there. At number 9, DJ Moore, who honestly, like, I really like DJ Moore. I wish I could put him up a little bit higher on the list, but his quarterback is starting to play like how he did at the Jets, right? Is that Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold's his quarterback. And he's not playing good. He's starting to resort back to old Sam Darnold that we know. And he's still focusing DJ Moore, who's having good games out there, but should be having way better. And that's based on his quarterback. Number 10, another guy, and I know people picked this guy in the first round, second round for sure. And this guy is struggling, not doing jack shit. But I'm putting him at 10 this week because I feel like his comeback is coming right now. Like he's about to start. We're gonna start seeing him up on the list again. Is AJ Brown at Indy? And like this is I put actually I have Titans and I have Indy on here a lot on my list, and I actually think this is gonna be a really. I'm gonna say this could be another bust week for AJ Brown. To be honest, since I'm putting him at 10, I want to do a hot take. So AJ Brown's on my bust list because I do think that this is gonna be a very low scoring game. Indy and Tennessee, they're division rivals. Usually, division rival games are very low scoring. It's a defensive game, and I feel like that's gonna be coming this week on this game. Tennessee's defense is starting to slowly come around and do a little bit better. Indy has a decent defense. This is gonna be it'll be a defensive game, and I don't think there's gonna be a lot of scores out of it. I'm loving outside of the top 10, Kelvin Ridley this week versus Carolina. What was I calling them? Them and Denver. I can't remember what I was saying. False advertisement. Denver and Carolina have been false advertisement because they started off the year 3-0, looking good, and now they look just as bad as some of the bad teams. And with the Falcons on the rise slightly, I don't think that they're not going to go on too much of a rise. I do think that Falcons is bottom 10 team in the league still, but they're doing some shit out there. Matt Ryan is going to start. We know Matt Ryan slings the ball, and he's not terrible. He's gonna do decent. So Calvin Ridley, I want Kyle Pitts to be the recipient of everything, but Calvin Ridley's gonna come around. He will. So I'm liking Calvin Ridley this week, and then DeAndre Hopkins and his hamstring, and Deontay Johnson with his Ben Roethlisberger can get the hell out of here. I don't want any part of those guys. Also, A.J. Brown, get him the hell out of here. Even though he's at top 10, I was struggling getting a top 10 for this weekend receiver. And I love the hot take. So, get all three of them out of here. Don't want any part of it. I'm not playing them. Figure something else out. Make a trade. Hey, I know people have made trades by now in the leagues. Let me know what's been going on with your guys' leagues. I've actually had some really good trades. I should write it down because I forget exactly how trades have went for me this year. I've actually made a lot of trades in one of the leagues. So in my other league, unfortunately, every single one of them is too scared to even do anything. They all feel like they're going to get ripped off. I just I'm calling them out now. I hope one of them watches. It's a weak league, to be honest. Like, it's just everybody's scared to do anything. They don't even want to talk football. They don't. It's yikes. But we're gonna go into the betting part, which, guys, I'm just gonna let you know now, has been insanely good for me. I'm not gonna go into specifics, but when it's coming to that, I'm not even shouting them out because I'm trying to get something worked out with them. But when it comes to a certain site's sports betting, I have had. I'm having one of the best years I've ever had when it revolves around football as a whole. Right now, I'm having the best year that I've had in three of my leagues, in three of my fantasy leagues that I'm doing, kind of bigger money leagues. Two of them, I'm in first place, and the other one, I'm in third place. Only like 12. In the one that I'm in third place, it's total points for the year. It's no head to head. Total points for the year. I'm in third place in that one, behind by 12 points only. I'm having great fantasy football seasons all around. And on four leagues that I'm in, three of them I'm in first place, and then that one I'm in third place. So I'm having a great year fantasy football wise. Sports betting, easily the best I've ever done ever. I right now I am so hot on it. It's insane. And then also with just the other stuff I've been doing with the sports cards and stuff like that, it's been a lot of fun. So I'm having a great season. Either way, sorry for that. we stopped there. But starting off tonight, Arizona and Green Bay. They got Arizona by 6.5 on a 50-point game. If I'm betting that, I think there's an under here. I'm going to bet the under of 50.5 based on Aaron Rodgers not having his weapons out there tonight. Easily, any day would be an over, but I'm going to take the shot here and go under. I am taking Arizona for sure. I would take Arizona with that 6.5. I would even probably spread the points just a tad bit, make a little bit better bet. Next game, we have my Chicago Bears versus the 49ers. They got the Niners and 3.5 with a 39.5 point game. And I do say every week when it comes to Bears games, there is not going to be ever any more points than that. I feel like that's the max points get when it comes to Bears games is 39 points. I'm just gonna take a shot here, and I'm gonna say right now, I think the Niners win this game 13-10. I think that I know the Niners have been doing okay, but I'm gonna call it now 13-10 for the Niners, 23 points. So I'm taking the under and the 49ers here with they're winning by 3.5 in the bets. So let's see, Cleveland versus the Pittsburgh, and they got Cleveland at 3.5 winning this game in a 42-point game. I think that's a good amount of points for this game. I think it's going to be a little bit of a more of a defensive game for sure. And I see Cleveland though in this one versus the Steelers. Man, I'm not liking Cleveland. I'm not liking Cleveland right now. The running backs are hurt. Baker Mayfield's hurt. Roethlisberger sucks. I think I am gonna take Cleveland here. Maybe I'm gonna take Cleveland on this one, based on defense. Cleveland's got a better defense right now. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Cleveland on that. 3.5, that's tough, but I'm gonna take Cleveland on that. Buffalo versus Miami. They got Buffalo by 14 points in a 49.5 point game. Accurate. I feel like that's like spot on. They got Philly versus Detroit. Philly by 3.5 in a 48 point game. Now, I want to do a hot take here because honestly, I do think that Detroit has a chance winning this game. Every week, Detroit is fighting their balls off and gets very close to it. They're having tough games. Honestly, and I hate saying it, if they did not have Jared Goff and they had Matt Stafford back there, I think one of my buddies, Rec, he's a big Detroit fan, and he was saying it last night to me, and I was kind of agreeing with him. If they had Stafford, I feel like these games are probably won for Detroit this year. I feel like they have a better record right now than they do, and I don't know. I want to say Detroit takes this game. If I was taking an under here, if I was going to go with the underdog, I'm going Detroit here. 48 points. I still feel like that's a lot for this game. I would take the I'm not saying here. If I was forced to bet it, I'm taking the under. I'll take the under of 48 points. That's a tough one. I haven't looked into this yet. This is actually the first time I'm looking at it for today, or for this week. So I'm literally coming up with it in my head right now as we're going. We also got Atlanta versus Carolina. They have Atlanta by 3 in a 45.5 point game. Accurate. I think I like that. That's actually still, in my opinion, a little bit high in points, but I would not be betting the spread here, or not the spread. I would not be betting the total points game. I do think Atlanta takes Carolina by 3 here. Thoughts? We got Cincy versus the Jets. Cincy with 10.5 in a 42.5 point game. Accurate. Joe Burger is lighting the Jets up. Indy versus Tennessee. Indy by 1 point in a 50.5 game. No, I already said it. This is gonna be a really low scoring game. I obviously with a 1 point spread, I'm taking. They have Indy here with a 1 point spread. Man, it's gonna be a decent game. It'll be a really good game defensively to watch. The only reason I get stuck here is right now I'm thinking Wentz versus Tannehill. If I had my team, I'd want Tannehill. Derrick Henry is lighting it up. Jonathan Taylor is doing good though. AJ Brown is gonna have. I'm going with Tennessee here. I'm going Tennessee in this game actually. With the under, I'm taking the way under on that. I got Rams versus Houston in a Rams by 14 at a 47.5 point game. Accurate. I'm taking that. Probably even bigger spread than that. And then we got Seattle versus Jacksonville. And they got Seattle by 3 in a 43.5 point game. Accurate. I'll take that. I'll take it. I do think Jacksonville might score a little bit here this week. Man, the Seattle is terrible without Russell Wilson. Like, absolutely terrible. I'm not trying to, like, crap on it, but Seattle without Russell Wilson is like Dallas without Dak Prescott. Like spitting image. Like literally, that's like the same thing. If Jacksonville has a chance to win a game, they have another one this week. Can Jacksonville beat Seattle this week? That's interesting. It's an interesting one. Then you got Chargers versus New England. They got Chargers by 6 in a 49 point game. Very accurate. I like that one. Tampa Bay versus New Orleans. Tampa Bay by 5.5 in a 50 point game. I don't want to say under. And the only reason I don't want to say under is because like Tom Brady, they're feeding him, letting him get 4 touchdowns a game when they're even ahead. Like they're letting Tom Brady continue kicking the shit out of people. The only problem is I don't think New Orleans matches them at all, not even close when it comes to scoring, which makes it hard to say that 50 points might be accurate. But I'm just gonna say it's accurate, and I am taking Green Bay. Or I'm Green Bay. What the hell? Get them out of here. I am taking Tampa Bay here with this one, 5.5. Probably even bigger than that. I'd probably say Tampa Bay with 10 by 10. Probably say Tampa Bay by 10 here. Then you got Denver versus Washington. Washington, another terrible ass team. Everybody was so high on Washington to start the year, and I was trying to tell everybody it's phony. They're phonies. But they got Denver by 3 points here in a 43.5 point game. I feel like 43 is a lot of points for this game. This is 2 shitty teams. I'm gonna stick with that. Actually, I'll stick with. Man, it's tough. It's a tough one. I don't like shitty games like this to touch. I do think Denver wins this one. And I'll stick with the points. The points are accurate. And then you got Dallas versus Minnesota. And they got Dallas by 2.5 in a 55-point game. I'm definitely taking Dallas in this game. Stefan Diggs is going to intercept the freaking living shit out of Kirk Cousins. If Stefan Diggs, if he gets 2 interceptions, we're talking about rookie of the year, probably defender of the year. Let this guy go, man. This guy is tearing it up. I want Dallas in this game for sure. And they have him by 2.5. I'm taking him by 7 in this one. Taking Dallas by 7. 55 points, that's a lot. I don't think there's not gonna be that many points this game. I'm taking the under. And then to close the week off, we'll see what happens to Paddy. But we got Kansas City versus the Giants Monday night. They got Kansas City by 9.5 in a 52-point game. And I think that 52 points is probably going to be accurate for this game. I actually like that. I think that Daniel Jones is going to try his little heart out. But if he is missing his receivers, which I think he's another quarterback that is missing almost all of his receivers right now. I think every single one of them are hurt. Galladay and I can't even think of all of them right now. But yeah, I think they're all hurt. So if he has his receivers, I have hope for him. I still like the points here. I think that's accurate. In Kansas City, they have by 9.5 points. It's tough to do with Kansas City with the way they're playing recently. I would take Kansas City by 6-point spread. I would take the 6. I don't think the Giants are good at all. But we're talking about Kansas City, who just had 3 points and are losing games. They're in a decline right now. So I would be taking Giants if we're looking at the point spread here. I'm taking the Giants cover in the 9.5. I'll even say that. I don't know what's going on with Kansas City. I would try my luck on that. So for today on the Buds Football Show, that is enough. Get them out of here. Thank you guys for listening to the show this week. I will talk to you guys next week. Hopefully, I've been trying to get my buddy Animal on here to go on the show with me. A little under the weather and some other stuff going on with work and stuff like that. So we've been having a hard time getting him on here. But hopefully very soon I can get him on and we could have a show where me and him are arguing back and forth. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next week.